Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Sports and Songs podcast. My name is Dan. We're joined here with Craig from Philly. Craig, how are you?
Pretty good.
This is our fourth annual, Craig, fourth annual NFL draft preview. The 2026 draft for the NFL begins on Thursday night. And like the other years we've done, we're going to go through the top overall picks, get your thoughts on those. Also, get your thoughts on the Minnesota Vikings as a transplant there in Philly now. Still a Vikings fan, right? Still follow the Vikes?
Yes, I do.
So we'll see who they want, who they need, who they're going to go after, what are their weak spots, what are their draft picks, and whatnot. So here's the official logo. It's going to be in Pittsburgh this year. Craig, Pittsburgh's going to host the NFL draft. It's a big thing. You know, they set aside this for 3 straight days. People come and they set up the big tent. It's broadcast live. There's beer served. It's a big party atmosphere, and the cameras, you know, the fans get dressed up in their favorite jerseys and whatnot. So Pittsburgh's going to be host to this weekend, and it's a pretty big thing. It gets a lot of people into the community to come and watch this. So Thursday night is round 1. This takes about, God, this is 2.5, 3 hour episode to go through, you know, all the first round picks. Mel Kiper, this is his big day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mel Kiper loves this. So let's go through the first 10 overall picks and get your thoughts on this. You know, the Raiders have the first overall pick. Who have you got for the Vegas Raiders?
Well, first of all, the draft's in Pittsburgh. Oh, boy, that's like a type 2 diabetes convention. But anyways, the Vegas Raiders, I love Mendoza as a player and as a person. They're going to draft Mendoza. I go back and forth on it. I think the Raiders should just trade out of this pick, stockpile picks, because next year's quarterback class is going to be pretty good. But they're going to take Mendoza here, and I don't know which way to go on this. I think Mendoza is a great player and a great guy, and you know all that. But I don't see him as a franchise quarterback. He's a good quarterback that could, if he has a good defense and good receivers, he can win you games. But to carry a franchise on his back, I don't see it. But
well, he comes out of Indiana, quarterback Fernando Mendoza, national champions, undefeated. I mean, they have done some unreal things there in Indiana. So I agree, you almost have to take him. But if you trade down, boy, can you get a lot out of that. You can get a lot in return.
I would trade it down and go after someone's first round pick of next year. You know, that's kind of what I would do, because I don't like this quarterback class this year and overall. So
okay,
I would hedge my bets on next year. Not this year, but
okay.
But they're going to take Mendoza. They're going to take Mendoza. He's a straight up guy, and he ain't gonna get in trouble. So
will they take him, draft him, and then maybe a draft day trade after they pick him?
I doubt that.
I doubt that out of the first overall pick. They got enough time to get the guy they want, so they shouldn't need to move it. But so Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, number 1 first overall pick to the Raiders. Now we got next on the clock is the Jets. The Jets. The mock says Texas Tech, Bailey.
Yes, it's a couple players. Reese of Ohio State, both linebackers, edge. But I like Bailey of Texas Tech. I watched a few Texas Tech games and saw some highlights. Bailey is so fast. He's kind of like a Michael Parsons off the edge. Something the Jets need, so it makes sense to take. I'd rather take Bailey over Reese here at number 2. So I believe that's the route they're going to go.
And either way, you get an immediate guy to make an immediate impact, an immediate starter with one of these high class guys. The Jets here. So David Bailey is out of Texas Tech. It's an edge. He also mentioned linebacker Arvell Reese, Ohio State. Boy, any one of those, you can't go wrong with either one of those, right?
Correct.
Now, Arizona Cardinals, number 3 overall pick. Are they going defense?
Yeah, they need an edge rusher too, and that's where he's either going to be Bailey or Reese. I know Arizona needs. There was talk of like Love, the running back, but they have to get to the quarterback. So I say Reese here. Who is coaching in Arizona, by the way?
Arizona's coach, I don't know.
I don't remember who they hired. So, but
yeah, what they've got is Arvell Reese, Ohio State linebacker, and then Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame, the running back. I've got them on one of the mock picks here. They've got Arizona taking him, but you would think they'd have to go defense first here for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I think especially nowadays with running backs, committees of running backs, each team has 2, 3. I think you need at number 3, you need your franchise. I keep bringing up Michael Parsons kind of guy, but you need him.
Yeah, so. I think that is a good pick there. So Ohio State, that if they pick Arvell Reese there could be the first of multiple Ohio State players picked in the first round. There could be multiple Ohio State players in the first top 10 picks. It's just unreal what's out there. So that's the Cardinals. Now what we've got is Tennessee Titans coming up next. And here I've got their Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame on the mock that I'm looking at here. What's your thoughts, Craig, from Philly?
That's the sexy pick is Love, but you got Cam Ward. He looks promising. I say offensive line. The guy from Miami, Francis Malagula. He's pretty solid. I think Tennessee is just going to play it safe and go with the offensive lineman instead of Love, even though it won't surprise me if they did take Love because they could use running back help. But I think they're going to play it safe and take an offensive lineman that can anchor stuff down for years.
One of these mocks does have Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State, going to Tennessee with the 4th overall pick, but I don't see that.
No.
So you think for your 4th pick, okay. Let's see here.
And Tennessee's got to build around Cam Ward. And I know Love would help him, but we saw in Atlanta when Atlanta took Robinson. He's a great running back, but Atlanta hasn't done nothing in 3 years he's been there, 2 years. So
okay.
I think you got to build a foundation first, and then that's where I would be at, anyways. I think that's what Tennessee's going to do.
All right, 5th overall pick, New York Giants. Who do you have there for the Giants?
They need someone to help Neighbors out, wide receiver. Jackson Dart. I know they need a lot, but I think they're going to take Carnell Tate of Ohio State, wide receiver.
Okay. Carnell Tate, Ohio State Buckeyes, wide receiver you're going with there for the Giants. The one here on USA Today that I'm looking at shows Caleb Downs, Ohio State safety for the Giants. And then they've got Tate going next to the Browns. So here's the next pick, Cleveland Browns, number 6 overall. Where do you see them headed?
Well, Tyson of Arizona State, wide receiver, would be, I think it's too high for him. So this is a tough one. I don't think Cleveland needs defense, so I think they're going to take Tyson of Arizona State. I don't like it, but I think that's what they'll end up doing. Tyson was good. I'm wearing Arizona State gear, but I'll step in and I don't know. I think, but they'll take him because they need help at wide receiver. So they can go offensive line, but
number 7, Washington Commanders.
That's where your boy Sonny Styles comes in. Number 7.
Sonny Styles, Ohio State linebacker. That could be a slam dunk pick right there.
Yes.
And if so, that's the 4th Ohio State Buckeye player in the first 7 selections. Can you get your head around that?
No.
Yeah, we're in Minnesota. We're used to gophers, maybe 1 or 2 in the entire draft go, but this is 4 potentially out of the first 7 selections. Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, you got the transfer portal and whatnot, but that's unreal. Sonny Styles, Ohio State. So Washington Commanders are 7, leads us to New Orleans Saints at number 8.
I kind of want to say another Ohio State player, Downs, here, but I'm not too familiar with what the Saints really need. They could use some secondary work, but I think they're going to take Reuben Bain, the edge rusher of Miami.
Okay. And so the mock I'm looking at shows the Giants taking Caleb Downs, the safety, earlier up at 5. And then cornerback, Mansour Delane for the Saints. LSU is what they've got. So
are you going to worry about this internet stuff or are you going to listen to me?
I'm just bouncing some things off Craig from Philly just to see your thoughts. Mansour Delane, it could be the first corner taken off the list. First corner.
Yeah.
But you've got Bain, huh?
I got that. Yes. He has a little off-field issues a while back, hit and run and stuff of that nature. So he might drop because of that, but character issues. But
so little risk there.
But I think he'd be too good pass up there for the Saints.
So number 9, Kansas City Chiefs.
This is a tough one. Do they go with? I think they're going to go with the offensive lineman Spencer Fanu of Utah.
Utah, okay.
Don't know much about him, but I think the Chiefs got beat up last year. I think they're looking for offensive line.
Offensive lineman. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense for the Kansas City Chiefs. And to round out the top 10 overall, New York Giants. Their second pick here in the top 10.
Well, there you go. There goes Downs. He's off the board at 10.
Caleb Downs. So the Giants are going to go. You've got them with receiver and safety. Who do you have?
Yes.
For the Giants. Okay. So those are the top 10. Those are the top 10 picks. I like it. Now, one of these scenarios has Giants going defense. Both picks. Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs, teammates in the first round, both from Ohio State.
Here's the player that could. I'm sorry. Here's a player that could sneak up there around 6, 8, 9 is Lemon of wide receiver of USC. Looks like he's going to drop out of the top 10 according to draft experts, but I could see him sneaking into the top 10 with the Giants or a team like that needed wide receiver, or even Cleveland. So I think he could sneak in. So,
do you see a tight end going in the first 10 picks?
No, not at all.
All right, so those are the top 10 picks. overall. And like I said, Thursday night it's going to be, I think every 15 minutes you're going to get another pick. It may move quicker than that, but it's a long process. All 32 teams. It takes a while. Then you get into Friday night. Rounds 2 and 3 goes a little quicker. Still some big names. Saturday is rounds 4 through 7. 4 through 7 Saturday. Goes very quick there. Once the draft completes, the remaining players in the pool are available. First come, first served. They're on the free agent waiver wire. Now let's get to Minnesota. The Minnesota Vikings. Here we go. Here's their picks. 7 rounds. The Vikings have 9 picks. 9 picks. And a bunch of those are on Saturday. A bunch on Saturday. So Thursday night, their first round pick is the number 18 overall. What position will they focus on there? I think, Greg?
Well, if Harrison Smith retires, that's a problem. We need a center. I will say this. Kevin O'Connell is one hell of a coach. What was the Vikings record last year? 8-9?
500, yeah, right around there, 9-8, 8-9.
He did that with the worst quarterback rating in history, with McCarthy and Max Brosman as quarterback, and he still won 8 games. That's insane.
Yeah,
if you think about it. What's Hawkinson? Is he like getting old in the tooth here, or is he still viable?
He's got 8 years under his belt.
Okay, because the sexy pick would be
he's still good.
Okay, the sexy pick is to take the tight end, total beast out of Oregon, Kenyon. Yeah. He was. I watched him against the Gophers. He was unstoppable. Do they want to do that, or do they want to fill a need of a safety like Dylan Dieneman of Oregon? I mean, I don't know. Well, what do they feel? Because we have Kyler Murray, right? This year?
Yes. Kyler Murray's been signed.
Okay. Do we just take the stud tight end of Oregon and then worry about the rest after that?
Could.
I mean, you got Hawkinson there. I mean, you can split them out, flex them, but
you got Josh.
I don't think it makes much sense, even though I would love to have him take him, but I don't know if it makes much sense for what we need.
Another weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go with him. I think they're going to take him.
Our odds are by the 18th pick, he'll still be, if he's not snatched up sooner than there, he likely could be available.
Well, the Vikings don't.
That would be available. That'd be appealing, unless they trade up or down. Vikings.
That's what I'm thinking. But we don't even have a GM. So,
correct. So there's no GM heading into this draft.
I could see the Vikings with all those picks that you mentioned moving up to take like a Downs, Caleb Downs or somebody like that. If he's out of the top 10, I could see that. Or take offensive lineman Proctor, but if they sit at 18, it's going to be the tight end from Oregon.
Okay,
so,
beat the beast. That's a good, and it's a sexy pick. It's a big name. It's a Big Ten Oregon Duck. Wow, that'll give them some room to move. Another weapons there on the outside.
I wouldn't be surprised though if they trade up to go after someone.
Hawkinson and Josh Oliver both are 8-year guys. They have 8 years in the league, so both long in the tooth. So could go that route. Their second pick, this is Friday night now, is the 49th overall. Now, do you get a center?
Yeah.
Wide receiver, safety?
I say you got to address secondary with your second round pick. And then you do offensive lineman after that. And then a wide receiver later in the draft, like 5th round. Try to find some hidden gem, So
And then that 3rd round pick is the number 82 overall on Friday night, and the Vikings got a compensatory pick at the end of round 3. So late Friday night, this will be 10 o'clock or so, 11 o'clock. They'll get one of the last picks, the 97th overall pick, on one of the final picks there after the round 3 is complete. So they'll come out of there with 4 picks after 2 days. They should have their ducks in a row by then, because on Saturday, the Vikings don't have a 4th round pick, so they got the morning off.
Yeah.
And then they have a 5th, a 6th, and 3 7ths.
What do you want the Vikings to do here?
Well, I think the center is center and wide receiver, you would think would be in the mix, offensive line or center. There you go.
I think they need to go 2nd round secondary of some sort, cornerback or safety, and then offensive line, and then maybe another offensive lineman, and then wide receiver. Try to, like I said, you could try to find some guy down in playing for Norfolk State, So, so yeah.
The hidden gems, they're out there, of course. Now, do you go after any FCS guys?
I don't know. Not sure. What's the rate though? And that is South Dakota quarterback. Is he coming out?
Gronowski?
Yeah.
Yes. Gronowski is coming out.
Well, here's the question: are they going to dangle McCarthy on draft day?
I don't know. That's a GM move, and we don't have a GM, so they could. I just don't know what their plan is with that whole.
They're not going to get much for him. They're going to probably get a 4th rounder, so you might as well keep him. As far as I'm thinking, I'm not giving up on McCarthy. He had a bad year, So he just gets hurt. That's another bad year, and he gets hurt all the time. That's not a good remedy here, But there's been plethora of quarterbacks recently. Trey Lance drafted 3rd overall, never really started in the NFL. Anthony Richardson was like 4th overall. Daniel Jones, he can't even get on the field in Indianapolis. Zach Wilson, all of them have just been top 5 quarterbacks and have been buried within 2 years. So I like McCarthy still. I think he's got potential still. He's got to stay on the field a little bit. That's all. Maybe sitting behind Murray and
so the Vikings
will help him, but
Carson Wentz and Max Brosmer.
We still got Wentz on the roster.
Carson Wentz, North Dakota State.
You got
6'5".
I know Brosmer's a gopher guy, but I don't know. I don't know about that one, but now is Murray going to be focused? Because he wasn't focused in Arizona. He didn't read the playbook. He had special instructions in his contract. He had to read the playbook like an hour a day or some shit like that, or stuff like that.
Well, it's under KOC. So KOC as a coach, I think, would help wrangle that stuff out of the way, so it's not noise anymore. It'd be focus. Kyler, new scenery, could be change of pace. Could be what he needs. Very talented guy. 5'10". Little Kyler Murray. Yeah.
I like Kyler Murray. He's always like my late round fantasy pick for backup quarterback. I always like Kyler Murray, but I don't know. Is he gonna flake out, or is he gonna?
He's another veteran, 8 years out of Oklahoma. Carson Wentz, 11 years out of NDSU. So they've got some veterans. We'll see who makes the team and who doesn't. But there shouldn't be a need to draft a quarterback at all, right?
No, unless you want to take a flyer, you know, on somebody from Appalachian State,
Just to bring in some
6th, 7th
competition for
round.
training camp or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all those picks. So they got 9 overall picks. They should be able to get guys that they have needs for in this draft with those 9 picks. Yeah, it should be interesting. The tight end is an interesting scenario as well. They have Bryson Nesbitt, Gavin Bartholomew, out of Pitt.
Yeah,
Josh Oliver, Ben Urusek out of Georgia. I don't know if they're going to do anything with the tight ends. They may not. But if you get him, you get the stud out of Oregon.
He mostly lined up.
Is going to like that option.
Yeah, he lined up mostly as wide receiver. I mean, he was hardly on the ball last year for Oregon. So I don't know. I don't think they don't need a tight end. So I don't know if they're gonna. I don't be surprised if they move up, make some deals to get a guy that they don't expect to be there and they want him. That kind of deal. That's
Vikings finished 9-8 last year, half game behind the Packers, 1 half game out of second place.
Exactly. And with the worst quarterback. What's that?
They had they got almost to the playoffs, 9-8 record, almost got to the playoffs, and didn't really have a quarterback on their footing, on the year, in and out, quarterback by rotation.
Yeah, I think they played 4 quarterbacks last year. I mean, Wentz played maybe 4 games. Brosmer played 3. McCarthy played whatever. So, and they still almost made the play. That's a good team. That's good coaching in my book. So.
Yeah, they had some good stability. Now, if they get some good stability at quarterback this year, and we don't have the carousel, it should be good. Now, who's going to be calling the plays for the offense? KOC's been doing it, right? Should that be pulled away, and so he can focus?
No.
Keep him calling the plays.
Yeah, we got Aaron Jones coming back, don't we?
I think Aaron Jones Sr., yes.
Okay, so that's good. We just got to block better this year for a running game. If we can sort that up, I think Kyler Murray's going to flourish with Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson and whoever else they draft.
There was no time last year for the quarterback to get to their progressions to pass because the line collapsed. I mean, you have one shot. If he's not open, you tuck the ball and get sacked, or you throw the ball. I mean, that's what it kind of was watching games last year.
So it doesn't make sense taking the tight end. You want to move up or stay where you're at and get offensive lineman. I don't know. Curious what the Vikings are going to do this year.
All right, so that's their picks. Thursday night, it all kicks off round 1. The Vikings are 18th, kind of in the middle of the pack there on Thursday. 2 rounds on Friday. If you stay up late to get that last pick there, the compensatory, and then 5 picks on Saturday. So 4 picks Thursday and Friday, 5 picks Saturday. So 9 total picks in the 7-round draft. As always, it's going to be fun stuff, fun to watch, see how it plays out, see who does some moving and shaking, and some last-minute trade, teams that trade up, teams that trade down, and the trades that could take place after players have been picked and selected as well. There could be some of that going on, but we'll see how it shakes out. Any other thoughts, Craig, on the upcoming draft?
No, I guess not. Yeah, I think it's a weak draft, honestly, my opinion.
Next year, the quarterback draft should be excellent.
Well, we'll see how Arch Manning does this year with Texas, because last year wasn't a very good year. So we'll see how he does. He could be the number 1 overall pick next year, and then I think Williams of LSU is going to be in there in the draft. So, yeah, I think next year is going to be more potent than this year for sure.
Okay. Well, all the fans are going to descend onto the city of Pittsburgh here in the next couple of days. It's going to be a wild scene there in the Steel City, right?
Have you ever been there?
Never.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, sounds good, Craig. Craig from Philly, thanks for your time. Thanks for your time, Craig from Philly. We'll see how accurate the picks are, and we'll go from there. But it's always fun to have you on as a guest.
All right.
All right, talk to you next year at the same time. We'll do another preview for the fifth straight year. Thanks, Craig.
You got it.